Oh my God. How is this happening? How are we doing this? How is this the episode we have? Welcome back to the Mets Up podcast. We lost.
Was this the ASMR version?
Yeah, we lost. My voice is dead. It's only going to get worse. I pray to God we don't have it for the recording tomorrow night. I would love to be like the woman from SpongeBob. They're selling chocolates. That's how I want to sound tomorrow night, because that means good things are happening. Good things did not happen tonight. Great things happened at the start. Nothing else happened after the second inning that was good. Not a single good thing happened after the second inning. We're going to talk about it. This is also a voicemail episode. I felt like it was a good time to unleash the fans, to unleash the viewers. Let's hear what you got to say. So first half, me and James are just going to go straight up vibes, opinions, thoughts. Second half of the episode after the ad, you're going to get the voicemails. You're going to get our opinions to your questions, answers, thoughts, whatever it is. We're going to talk about it. We just spent 2 hours at Murphy's in Astoria. Another great night there. Great vibes.
2 hours?
I don't know, 5. It felt
5 hours.
It was the longest game of my entire life. I can't even believe we're doing this again. There have been 2 teams. No, sorry. There's been 1 team. There have been 2 times in the modern wild card series era that a team has not won both of their first 2 games. James, what's the other time that a team didn't win the first 2 games of a series to end it?
So the one time is this series, the Mets and the Brewers, and the only other time has happened since MLB installed this playoff system was the Mets and the Padres.
And you know what?
2022.
It was fucked up that ESPN put out 88%. There's only been fucking 11 series. We were one of them. We're the other one now. How does this nightmare keep happening?
Give the intro spiel before your voice goes dead.
Follow us on all our social media at MetsUp, wherever, whatever it's called, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to the MetsUp Podcast YouTube channel. Where are you at? We're almost at 5,500. Subscribe. You're listening, Apple, Spotify, Google, Overcast. I don't know. Fucking follow, download, subscribe. Fucking how do we lose this game?
I remember in the 4th inning of this game, I took a lap around the bar. I went to the bathroom. I got another beer. I met my guy Chris. I saw our dude Bryant. And I looked up and I was like, how the fuck is this game in the 4th inning? It just kind of had that feeling that it wasn't a final. What, like, where it wasn't the way it was going to be. And as it kept going, 3-1, 3-1, then 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, you were like, how? You're not going to win this game with 3 runs. You're not going to win this game with 3 runs. I think I looked at you in the 6th inning. I said, this is a race to 5. And I figured we were going to be the ones that won that race to 5. And a lot of scrutiny is being given to the end of the game. And we're going to give a certain amount of scrutiny to that as well. But this game was lost by the Mets in all of those innings. In the 5th inning, when Nimmo got the second base on a balk. In the 6th inning, when JJ Martinez got a leadoff walk, wasn't pitch run for, but you still had bases loaded to end the inning with Jose Iglesias. The 7th inning, when you got Pete Alonso hit a single and he made that, he left out there. In the 8th inning, when Starling Marte had a leadoff walk. This game was lost in those innings.
And stole the base.
I think that was the 3rd inning.
Whatever inning he stole the base, didn't get him in. And I looked at you at that point.
That was the 4th inning.
I looked at you at that point and I said, if the Mets want to win this game, they have to score this run. And what do you know? They didn't score the run. They didn't win the game.
But again, we're going to get to every shit. A lot of fucking credit in that 4th inning specifically. I don't know how you found us a way to start there in that 4th inning, but a lot of credit to Pat Murphy in that 4th inning, because that was a really tense moment in the game where his team was down 2 runs. His starting pitcher didn't have shit, and their back was against the wall. And he brought his best reliever that wasn't his closer in the game in the 4th inning to get out the Mets' best hitter with a man scoring position. I was like, fuck.
A little
damn
foreshadowing there.
Yeah, I really mad that they brought, again, but it's different because
second best reliever.
Again, best reliever that wasn't their closer. We just don't really have a guy like that in this bullpen, which is kind of the crux of the whole issue. But again, we'll talk about this all. But like, that was a moment where I was like, all right, fuck, the Brewers are here, because the game was about to spin out of control if the Mets scored the run that inning, and we were going to be celebrating and dancing and singing "Oh My God" all fucking night long. But it stopped right there because he brought in his stopper in the 4th inning in a do or die game, as you should do. Shout out Buck Showalter for bringing in your best reliever when your team's back against the wall. Baltimore still haven't won a playoff game since that happened, but it's true. It's just serious. But again, the transition back, Well, I don't know why I brought up Buck Showalter. That's a fucking horrible mnemonic thing I just did in my
Bad.
brain.
That's bad. That was
I'm
bad.
horrible. But it's because the one thing that I always gave Buck Showalter credit for with this Mets team when he managed this team, as much as he was against computers and Excel and analytics and numbers and any semblance
And
of
vibes.
modern baseball, vibes, everything, he understood that when the other team's best 3 hitters were coming up towards the end of the game, it didn't matter if it was the 7th inning, the 8th inning, or the 9th inning. Even if Edwin Diaz only had enough in his tank to give you 3 outs that day, he was coming in against the best hitters. And this was the critical mistake that the Mets and Carlos Mendoza made in this game. It's just when the top of the Brewers order came up in the bottom of the 8th inning, we tried to get cute and save Edwin Diaz for the 9th inning to close the game rather than bring him in for the 3 most important outs. And we didn't do that. And again, everything that happened the 5 innings before that is what actually cost us the game.
Totally.
But in this moment is what drove the knife into our chest and how we lost it in the end.
Yeah, when you don't execute the Mets executed the first 2 innings beautifully. 1 run, 2 runs. Fantastic.
Lots of really well-placed ground balls.
There are 3 runs were scored in the first 6 outs of the game. Literally, 6 outs of the game. They scored the 3 runs. Their first 2 innings was beautiful baseball. They left runs on the board in those innings, but it was still even fantastic. It was a great sacrifice fly, hits here and there. Everybody was doing their little job. But the fact that they were not able to capitalize, literally for not a single inning the rest of the game, is the true reason why they lost this game. Now, again, under a microscope, in a vacuum, Phil Maton in the 8th inning was not the right call. Because you had number 1, you had Jackson Chourio, Blake Perkins, William Contreras up at the plate. Those Blake Perkins, whatever, I'm not going to say him, but Jackson Chourio, William Contreras are 2 of the 3 best hitters in this Brewers lineup. There's no doubt. Willy Adames,
the 2 best hitters in this lineup.
Willy Adames, yeah, you're right. Willy Adames being the 3rd who would be up after William Contreras. So God forbid one of these guys got on base. Whatever it is, comes to the game. Carlos Mendoza opted not to do that. I think hindsight's 2020. It was the wrong decision. I thought Maton in the 8th was not the terrible decision. I thought that it maybe wasn't the perfect one, but I can rationalize why they were doing that, because in a world where Phil Maton, who has been a great reliever for this team all year, he should get those guys out. It should be a 1-2-3 inning. It should be at least a 1-2, maybe 3-4 inning. It should be out of the inning clean. And then you have Edwin Diaz to face Gary Sanchez, Rhys Hoskins, Sal Frelick, whatever it is. The problem to me was not only that they didn't go Diaz to start the 8th, but it was that when Garrett Mitchell came into the game to pinch hit for Gary Sanchez, that we stayed with Phil.
He pinch ran 2 innings before.
Oh, well, regardless, that his guy came up. His guy came up to hit. That we continue to go with Phil Maton, who gave up 105, 106, 102. He was getting pieced the fuck up. And I feel like, to me, this is the first time in a minute, and this is truly the first time that Carlos Mendoza has been under the microscope as magnified as he was, where there was a noticeable lack of preparedness or lack of plan here, because there was no reason that Phil Maton getting pieced up as he had. Freddie Peralta, Pat Murphy pulled Freddie Peralta, who's a significantly better pitcher, because of a hard sacrifice fly. And granted, it cost him the game.
3 innings before.
Granted, it cost him the game, but he was like, hey, someone hit the ball hard. Everyone was hitting the ball hard off of Phil Maton. He did not have it. It was evident he did not have it from the first batter when Jackson Chourio hit that ball out. You cannot leave him in to face Garrett Mitchell there. That, to me, that was the determining factor.
Also, to put that entire Willy Adames at bat under a microscope, I think that at bat's the most important one. It's really indicative of what actually happened here.
Hung a curveball, too, that they got lucky.
Past that, the first pitch of the at-bat, he left a cutter high that kind of hung a little bit because Maton's cutter is more like a baby slider, and he swung through it. And then he threw a sweeper that also wound up high that he fouled off. And you're like, oh, my God. This is
we
bad.
Looked at each other. We were like,
yeah, like, Jesus Christ. And this is with 2 outs and nobody on base. So you have a chance with a tie game right here. Just get out of here and just figure this thing the fuck out.
After a huge double play, but it was a hard hit double play.
Yeah, hard hit double play.
I was like, that's the killer. That's what it was. Fuck. It's because he got the double play. Fuck.
But then the rest of this at-bat, he left another cutter high that was so high that Adames didn't swing at it, and then a curveball that he hung, and then another curveball he hung, and luckily Adames missed both of them, and then the last pitch was a sweeper that was also up. So Phil May, again, there's a lot of things that went wrong in this game, and I don't want to pick on Carlos Mendoza because he's been so good this whole year, but this at-bat, I think specifically, is a situation where he was being reactive instead of proactive in general, or just not even acting at all, just a lack of active. 6 pitches, he missed every single one of them. And then you had a lefty coming up. And I think that there is something to the fact that Phil Maton is better against lefties and righties. But then he did come into this inning against with 4 straight righties that came up against him, or three righties and a switch hitter that came up against him start the inning. But in that moment, you have to just be like, okay, no matter what, like, just bring in Danny Young. He's on the roster. He's here to get a lefty out with a man on base. Like, if he's not going to pitch now, someone else should have just been on the roster. Like, anybody else should have just been on the roster. So that, specifically, the fact that, again, he missed 6 straight pitches in that bat with 2 out and nobody on, and you stuck with him, that to me was just like, oh, fuck. Like, we didn't think about this. We didn't plan ahead to this. We didn't figure out what was going to happen here. A lot of things went wrong in this game, but there were a lot of things that went wrong, specifically in that 8th inning, that probably could have been avoided with just a little bit more something, a little bit more je ne sais quoi, as they say. A
little more reactiveness. Like you said, I think the Mets were in a weird, or the Mets managed this in a weird spot where if we lose today, we don't want to fuck ourselves for tomorrow. That's kind of how it felt like they managed this game. It was that if we bring in Edwin Diaz for the 8th and he does a good job and we blow the 9th inning because we don't have Edwin Diaz, what do we do tomorrow? Because that will seemingly be 80 pitches in 3 days for Edwin Diaz. What the fuck do we do in game 3? And I think maybe hindsight is 2020, right? Monday morning quarterback. Maybe this is all of us being a little bit too into the zone about what's going on. But immediate reaction, you said this in the bar. We talked about this before. Edwin Diaz has to get the 3 best batters in the Brewers lineup. And theoretically speaking, 1, 2, 3, and even 4, again, you give up the Jackson Chourio home run, whatever. You go into the 9th inning then with a tie game as opposed to being down, and maybe this game continues. The Mets bats were fine in this game. They just lacked getting those big hits after the 2nd inning. It was overall, genuinely speaking, didn't deserve to win this game. I think that's something we have to talk about too.
Could have deserved to win this game.
Could have, but they didn't step up after the first 2 innings of this game. Like, you winning 2 innings out of 9, it sucks. Fucking brutal blowing this game. Hate it. But the way that my mind is working right now is it's not as devastating as a loss because you have played 2 good innings of baseball. That's really what it came down to, offensively speaking.
Okay, I fully disagree with the devastation factor. I think this is devastating because you had a chance to kill a team. You were winning a playoff, an elimination game in the 8th inning.
It sucks, but it's just...
And your best pitcher, your closer, hadn't even stepped on the mound yet. You let that go without happening.
It's the annoying thing of, and I'm going to make an excuse, and you're going to hate it, but it's a factual excuse. Edwin Diaz has thrown 66 pitches in the last 2 days of baseball, 3 days of baseball. And I know, what are you going to do if you get knocked out?
Phil Maton's thrown 4 out of the 5 days.
He didn't throw 70 pitches. He didn't throw 70.
The last time Phil Maton stepped on the mound, he didn't get an out.
I think, listen, I'm rationalizing why he did it. I think it was a bad decision. I'm not going against it.
No, okay, I don't disagree with you. I do think that at the end of the day, he's like he said that after the game. That's not why. He was like, we knew we only had Edwin for a couple of batters. We had him for 1 inning max.
70 pitches.
That's it. Yeah, true. And I'm sure he was like, give me the ball. And they're like, we have to just give you a little break at some point. This also just comes from the fact of how balls to the wall they went on Monday. But at the end of the day, he was available. If you would have taken the mic and said he was unavailable in this game, I don't say any of this shit. You're right. Because at that point, you had to have done this exactly this way. Maybe we would have said, like, push Manaea another inning, but Manaea did get pieced up a little bit in his last inning. But again, there's kind of some tiny stuff. We're going to get back to it real quick, but I got to hit you guys with a quick ad, then we're going to come right back.
Yeah.
All right, we're back here. And again, I think that if Mendoza takes the mic after the game and says Edwin Diaz pitched through 70 pitches in 2 days, he wasn't available. He just simply wasn't available. None of this shit is relevant because then you don't have him, it's fine. But the fact that he was available, he said only for a few batters, this comes back to the fact that what are you using him to close the game or using him for the most important situation?
Fair.
And that's the problem. And also coming back, the piggyback of all of this is that Manaea was pitching fine through 5 innings. He wasn't great. He wasn't the best he's been all year by a long shot. He didn't come out for the 6th. And again, I don't think it's the worst thing he didn't come out for the 6th. Turang hit that Q shot double in the 5th. He wound up coming.
Bullshit.
It's bullshit, but he did still hit the ball pretty hard. It was 95 miles an hour ex-velocity. I see it on here. And then Chourio hit the ground ball 93. Again, these are nominal numbers. Here's his bullshit, but just saying it because this is probably the thought process that was going on. Blake Perkins hit the sac fly 103. And then William Contreras hit a hot shot ground ball the end inning 110. So then you probably see those 4 batted balls, and you're like, this is the 3rd time around the order for the rest of these guys. Maybe they'll want Willy Adames to see him again. Maybe the 6th inning, this is when I take out Sean Manaea because I don't want to push Manaea 1 inning too long, 1 inning too short. I get that. Reed Garrett comes in the next inning. And it was the Gary Sanchez single, and that was the Garrett Mitchell pinch run. He got thrown out in an amazing fucking play by Francisco Alvarez.
188 is disgusting.
One of the best pop times, literally, of any catcher this entire year. We broke that down in the bar in Baseball Savant. And Jose Iglesias was the pick of a lifetime off that short hop, bang right on him. And Alvarez threw the ball so hard it tailed toward in between. It tailed to the right side if you're standing at the home plate or second base, and went right into the tag. Yeah, it was perfect. It was an incredible throw. And again, I don't want the bad thing this game take away from a lot of the good shit that happened in this game. So I'm going to call out this amazing play that happened. But Garrett wound up, besides that, literally one single in the call strike. It was a very good inning from Reed Garrett overall. And I think that a lot of Mets fans, I think you and I also were talking in the bar, like, okay, he only threw
for sure.
The exact amount of pitches here. It was 12 total pitches with a strikeout and a hit, and not that many balls out of the strike zone. It was really good outing. And Reed Garrett's been shaky lately. So again, this Monday morning quarterback, this hindsight, I can't say you definitely should have put him back out there for the next inning, but you definitely could have. It was the 7, 8, 9 in the order. Instead, we went with Stanek, who looked dominant yesterday, and he looked dominant again in this game on Wednesday. Amazing. And then this is where the Monday morning quarterbacking from especially Mets fans got a little annoying for me, where people were like, how could you not give Ryan Stanek a second inning? Where I'm like, okay, let's be honest. Let's take a step back for a second here. Every single one of you is saying this wanted this guy's head on a stake 7 days ago. Yeah. Literally. You said when you want him on the roster. You want him DFA. You don't want him a part of the ship. We've been telling you guys that the playoffs not really about what you've done. It's just stuff. It's stuff. It's stuff. It's stuff.
He's got stuff.
He's got crazy stuff. Throws 100 miles an hour with a nasty splitter. He's made a little adjustment. He's kind of cut the gyro slider recently. So it's just been fastball splitter, and those two have been on point. But this was 7, 8, 9, and he made mincemeat out of them. Made them look bad, especially Bryce Turang, who's Ted Williams against the Mets. Yeah. Got him out fucking easily.
Fucking Bryce Turang.
I think this is too much Monday morning quarterbacking where you're like, he should have come out for a second inning. Because I don't think you want Ryan Stanek throwing his first up down to Mets jersey to come against 1, 2, 3 of the Brewers order in a 1-run game in the 8th inning. I don't think no one thinks that should have happened.
That would be very much.
That would have been stupid.
Yeah, that would be warranted. Everyone being like, what the fuck is going on? What are we doing, Carlos Mendoza?
But there could have been a world where, again, all this is hindsight bullshit that we're doing. We just have to do because that's what we do. Where Garrett comes out for a second inning, because that's something he has been asked to do many times this year. And again, it hasn't been as good recently, but he looked really good in that inning, and he showed off 5 pitches. It was like, all right, this is the good Reed Garrett. For him to come back out for 7, 8, 9, you have Stanek ready in case he gets into a jam, and then you've bridged it a little bit. And then you get through there, and then.
It's just annoying. I don't know. God
damn
it. Is
all this is bullshit. All this is conjecture. Pete has to get a big hit. Pete has to get. Where's Brooks Raley? Pete really has to get a big hit. Okay, he hasn't done it yet. Can we talk about that?
Because
talk about it real quick before we get to the voicemails.
Where the fuck is Pete Alonso? Like it is now to the point where we have carried the Pete Alonso torch for a full year, and now the game's like legitimately matter. It's do or die. Season over. Where the fuck is he? He had disgustingly horrible at bats today. He
tripped over his own bat.
He looks uncompetitive, and I am not one to be a Pete Alonso hater. It makes me sick to my stomach to say this shit because he's awesome. But my God, is he afraid to be great? He's afraid to be a great player.
Can I tell you something horribly disgusting?
I mean, yes, but I wish I didn't have to hear it. I wish this was a happy episode.
So the first inning double play that Pete hit into when he tripped over his bat, never seen that in my life. He slipped over his bat. That was the hardest hit ball by a Met in this game.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I told you.
It's just like we're all waiting. Every single Mets fan is waiting for Pete Alonso to do something. And I know he's had like big hits this year. He had the big home run. Like theoretically,
in April,
he had the big home run against the Detroit Tigers, and like if you don't win that game, you're not in the postseason today. That's like the bullshit, fucking nonsense excuse that us podcasters who love Pete Alonso have to tell you. But he legitimately has to hit a home run tomorrow. He has to hit a home run tomorrow. If he doesn't, this is going to be a really bad take by me. Just be prepared. It's 1:00 in the morning. Bad take, completely changed my whole outlook of the legacy of Pete Alonso as a New York Met if he doesn't hit a home run tomorrow.
Maybe at least just get an RBI. How about an RBI? Can I give you an RBI?
RBI changes. RBI is back to neutral. Ofer with the shit at bats he had today. Don't bring him back.
It was very bad bats. And that first inning did feel like an opportunity for the Mets to step on the throats of the Brewers team. Willie Adames made a great diving stop to start this double play.
The fucking singles.
But there was
so
first and
with the
third.
fucking singles. I hate it.
Well, that's the issue here, too. Again, we're talking enough shit about Mendoza and the bullpen. And again, it's not really shit. It's just us kind of venting out our feelings and talking about scenarios and shit, because that's what the show is. The fact that this Mets team in this series has 2 extra base hits, and one of them's a Jesse Winker triple, and the other one's a Tyrone Taylor double.
He didn't play today. He didn't play until the 9th.
That's part of it, too. There were a couple scenarios, I'm going to pull them up right now, where JD Martinez came up in what were pretty significant situations. The first one being, not really came up, but he drew a walk off Yoel Payamps to start the 6th inning.
Which good at bat.
It was really good at bat by JD Martinez. Really good piece of hitting by him. 7-pitch at bat. And then it's the 6th inning in a 1-run game, in an elimination game, where one more run is so
huge.
Fucking important. It's consequential to moving on. And he didn't get pinch run for. And I think that there's a situation here, because Mendoza all said before this game that JD was starting against the righty Frankie Montas over Jesse Winker because JD Martinez saw him last week.
So did Jesse Winker. I don't know how no one was talking about that. Jesse Winker got drilled by Frankie Montas. Ron Darling said it was on purpose. Why was no one talking about how Jesse Winker fucking saw him too?
But in a 1-run game in the 6th inning, when you know where the ballpen is. And again, Mendoza knows in this game that he only has Diaz for 3 outs. He knows in this game that Sean Manaea is already out of the game because it was top of the 6th. That run's important.
This is the one that gets
what
me
made
mad.
matters worse is that the next at bat, Starling Marte bloops a single into right field, where 94% of the position players in Major League Baseball, and probably 50% of the pitchers, if they're on first base, reach third. And then you have a man on third base with nobody out. But instead, you left JJ Martinez on there to run because you're presuming it's the 6th inning and he gets one more at bat this game. And he's stuck on second base. And then Tyrone Taylor flies out. Francisco Alvarez grounds out. Lindor is intentionally walked. And also a very strange situation where he wasn't intentionally walked. He wasn't intentionally walked. He wasn't intentionally walked.
Tip the cap.
I don't know. Yeah, tip the cap. Pat Murphy
Pat
playing mind games there. Manager of the year. But then Iglesias strikes out on some wicked sinkers. 2-seamers from Yoel Payamps, who bounced back a nice way after he was miserably bad on Tuesday. But that was a spot where it felt like, again, Mendoza was being overly loyal in a situation where baseball instinct and all baseball logic would have really pushed you to being like, let me get a fast person on base to do anything I can to get this run home.
And this has nothing to do with the quality of at-bats JD's had, because he's actually had great at-bats the last 3 games. Great at-bats since Atlanta. He's been so much better.
But then again, in the 7th inning, he comes up again with a man on. Pete Alonso hit that Q-shot single, broke his bat. With Cenk Galley broke that bat. We need a new bat for Pete Alonso tomorrow, so I'm really happy he broke that bat.
I need a new head.
But for the 4th time this game, JD Martinez came up with a right-handed pitcher on the mound, and he got out again.
And context, everyone, like, again, we were watching at the bar. It's loud. The sound's on, but it's very muddled in that, like, between the noise and the beers and talking with your boys, like, you're not necessarily focused on all the words that are being said. Apparently, Jesse Winker had like a back thing on, a back wrap on, wasn't feeling great. And I was like, okay, there's my answer. Jesse Winker is not available today. He's having a back issue. That's why JD Martinez is playing. Oh, wait, Jesse Winker's up in the 9th, down 2 runs with nobody on base. That, to me, inexcusable. And I don't know, did anybody in the media ask about that? I don't know. I haven't been that locked in because I've been fucking depressed ever since watching this game lose. But if Jesse Winker's available down 2 to pinch hit, where the fuck? And he pinch it for Acuna, who filled in for Vientos. Who the fuck was going to play the field if we tied this game up?
Don't know.
This is the second time now, too, by the way.
Yes, it's true. And then also, again, pull that back, because in this game, we're talking all this shit about him pinch running. Pinch hitting. I think the pinch running was the major mistake.
Much bigger.
Because no matter what in this game, JJ Martinez didn't come to the plate with a man scoring position. He didn't. No. So these at-bats weren't really consequential. We're nitpicking an at-bat with 2 out and a man on first. Yes. Sure. Fucking whatever. But for a leadoff walk in the late innings, the 6th inning, I'll call it. You have to put the guy on base.
Gary
that is the most important run of the
game.
game.
Get him the fuck out. Get him out of here.
And that pinch runner hit the fucking game-winning home run, because Luis Alejandro Acuna could do that too. Like, putting him in the game is not a fucking pull noodle bat. This isn't Dave Roberts in 2004. This isn't Eddie Alvarez last week. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not putting up a nobody to pinch run there. You would be pinch running a guy who's one of your most important hitters 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, you let him. He's cold again now, but that to me was just a situation where I think that run was so much more important than Carlos Mendoza was treating it.
I agree.
think that was a massive fucking mistake.
Now, this was a game where, and granted, bad managing. Pat Murphy fucked up game 1. Carlos Mendoza fucked up game 2. Like, I think you can say that.
2 rookie managers in their first ever Major League postseason games. Things are happening. A lot of things are fucking happening really quickly. It's
and
hard.
over managing by both of them.
Yes, both of them. And again, Carlos Mendoza didn't go 2 for 11 this game run scoring position. Carlos Mendoza didn't leave 9 guys on base. This isn't Carlos Mendoza's fault. This is the team's fault. But there are these little micro decisions that get magnified because you lose a close game like this in an elimination game.
Yes.
And that's what we have to talk about.
Just because Phil Maton wasn't the 100% correct decision to go out there in the 8th doesn't mean he shouldn't.
Still could have executed.
Could have executed, and we don't have to talk about this shit. Like, that's happened this year. There have been times this year where decisions have been made that we didn't agree with, and the guy still executed. The fact of the matter is the Mets did not execute past the second inning today, and that's really the true story.
Nope. And gotta give you guys one more ad, then we're gonna get to your voicemails.
All right, we got so many voicemails, and you guys are doing me a huge favor again because you can hear my voice, and it's just not really that great right now. I'm just gonna start pulling some up, and we're gonna play them. First one, shout out to Emily, a female viewer. Let's go. We got a female viewer here from Emily. Let's see what she's got to say.
I don't know. Got a hit with runners in scoring position. Should we have pinch run for JD Martinez when he got that single?
Cerebral.
I forget what inning it was. Maybe like the 5th or 6th or something. I don't know why you don't go to Diaz to face the top of the order. Rip Buck. Just kidding, but he probably would have done that. Not like I'm very confident in his bullpen management in the playoffs, but yeah, feel like we're just going to win tomorrow, though. I don't know. I have like an overwhelming sense of calm. We're going to be fine. Let's go Mets. Fuck Rhys Hoskins. All right. Peace.
All right.
When you said Emily, was that SS?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Legend.
Yeah.
Love her.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't have...
This is actually part of it, too. Every single time the Mets have kicked us in the teeth this year, they've come out the next day with their heads on fire.
Yes.
So that's part of it, too. Like, we're being bitchy and we're being negative because we're sad and we're upset because we should have been moving on right now. But this isn't us being like, we're dead. We're over. This team's done.
Yeah,
no shot. This is us venting. This is you guys listening to us venting with us. That's the best part of this. But I got another voicemail right now from our guy, Brandon.
Just frustrating loss, but we had our chances tonight. You have to capitalize on those opportunities. So my question for you guys is how do we adjust for tomorrow? Because Milwaukee has the momentum, but how can we, the Mets, play better? Thank you. Love you guys.
Thank you, Brandon. Love
First
you too.
off, what a fucking killer New York accent Brandon's got. I love to hear that. That's fucking awesome. That gets me fired up. How do you adjust? It's the last game of the season. That's it. You have to treat this like this is the last game you were going to play all year with this team, with these guys, and you want to go out and win. And you don't just want to win. You want to kill the Brewers. What the Mets lack doing today was stepping on the throat. We talked about it when it was the 3rd inning, when it was the 4th inning. We got that opportunity. We're like, take the knife, put it into the stomach, rip out the guts, let them spill out everywhere. Make it a fucking mess. Like,
could have done it.
Could have done it. Had opportunities. They did not. They did not step on the throat. They did not get the big hits. I think this team is capable. I don't think there's any doubt in our minds.
Of course.
This team is very capable. And
we were just emotional.
Haven't lost any sort of doubt in the quality of this team. Doesn't make tonight's loss any better. Doesn't make it any worse. Whatever it is. But whatever they did tonight, forget about it. Once you go to bed, forget about it. You got to come out tomorrow. You got to come ready to play. And it starts with Francisco Lindor, who also didn't have a couple big hits with some guys in running scoring position today.
One time.
We'll never slander him.
No.
But
he has to get a hit.
To get a hit. Jose Iglesias had maybe the worst at bat of his season with some guys on him. I mean, one of the worst at bats he's had. And Pete Alonso has to show up to the ballpark looking like a baseball player. That's it.
And again, to answer Brandon's question, like, what do you do tomorrow to be better? I think the big thing is just preparing for Tobias Myers, the guy you saw last week. Tobias Myers is very much a field pitcher. He's going to show 5 different pitches against the righties. It's going to be lots of 4-seamers, lots of sliders, some cutters, but then lots of changeups and curveballs. The lefties, it's heavy 4-seamer, heavy cutter, heavy changeup. So it's it's just game planning for guys can show you a lot of different wrinkles and move the ball up high, in, out, around the zone. Just get ready for someone who's a junk ball annoying motherfucker to get some hits. Because like it's another guy that's weirdly annoyingly really fucking hard to square up. And you just again, we might have to win this game with fucking singles. And you know what? I really want the Mets to hit the home run
so badly.
I want to hit the home run so badly. Why can't we hit the home run? I want to hit the fucking home run.
Singles, baby. We were like giving the Brewers so much shit for the doinky little hits. We've been doinking it all over the place. Hit a home run. Trusting Jose Quintana. All right, I got one here from Jack. Jack, let's see what you got.
Real tough loss today, boys. You got to go with Edwin in the 8th there. He's your $102 million closer. But, I kind of fear that Mendy was kind of trying to pull a Buck Showalter there and save his closer, for extra innings, which, would not have been the move. But flat out, the team's got to hit Tobias Myers. I mean, that's as good as the bullpen's going to get, and we lost. So, got to put up 5+. Let's fucking go Mets. Let's curb stop these bums. Fuck Rhys Hoskins.
I do love that everyone's
Hell yeah.
throwing in fuck Rhys Hoskins. This is a very fuck Rhys Hoskins podcast. I will say the one defense, I'll give to Mendoza where he's not Buck because I can't allow that. I can't allow that. The Buck was in a do or die game. If Mendoza doesn't pitch Edwin Diaz tomorrow in the biggest moment of the game, if the Mets are winning by 1 in the 6th inning and 3, 4, 5's coming up and there's 2 men on, Edwin Diaz has to be in the game. Like that's
Maybe
the
at
whole
6th,
scenario.
they're going to come up again.
But if that's those are the biggest outs. What if you put in? This is what I'm saying. You put in fucking.
I'll put my hand up right now. You said the BUCK word. We both said it too much this podcast.
Everybody said it too much.
We're not saying it anymore.
Okay, no more. Well, what if they say it?
If someone else says it, they said it, it's fine. No worries.
All right.
You and I, we're not allowed to say it the rest of the
Regardless, you can't end the season with your best pitcher not playing. At least that didn't happen today. At least.
Totally. I mean, it did actually.
Well,
The season
not
didn't
over.
end, but you
Season's
lost
not
the
over.
game that could have
Oh
ended.
yeah,
the
yeah,
season.
yeah.
Okay,
It's very close, but
All right.
they didn't
All right.
exactly do that.
All right, got another one from our guy Evan.
Hey guys, this is Evan from the DC area again. Man, that was a frustrating one. I felt like Manaea definitely dogged it out. Had a really hard time putting away batters. It was frustrating, but pushed through. We kept it way too close for way too long. Too many men on base. I feel like even the inning where we put up 2 runs, I felt like we could have done more. Just opportunities that were squandered, unfortunately. And, honestly, the top of the order didn't do a whole lot. I mean, a lot of it was coming from the bottom half. So we need to see the big boys pick it up a bit and get it going tomorrow. That's it.
That's it. That's it is right. Talk about Manaea for seconds. I don't think we've mentioned him really at all, besides maybe he should have came out for the 6th, maybe not. I like that the fastball was back. That 2-seamer was good. ESPN kept calling it a 4-seamer, and then they were calling
No, they're calling
sinker.
it sinkers.
Yeah, which again, Baseball Savant calls it sinkers, so I pull it from that for sure. But I like the fact that he had that pitch back and he was able to throw it up in the zone. He didn't allow the Brewers to really ever square him up at all. Some of those sweepers, those back foot sweepers, were completely fucking maniacal. Like, it was really disgusting, some of them. But everyone's right. He didn't get many swings and misses. There was a lot of called strikes. I think what, 3 of his 5 strikeouts were backwards Ks at least. That was something, but he again, similar to a couple days ago, he pitched more than well enough to win this game.
Good enough to win.
By far.
I think what's really funny, too, is we've given a lot of shit to Starling Marte throughout the year, and he's shown the fuck up. Got to give some Starling Marte some credit. Stealing bases, playing good enough defense in the outfield, 2 for 3 today with a walk. Starling Marte doesn't walk. He walked. He's played really well.
3 times.
Top of the order needs to step up a little bit here. All right. We've got one from Leonardo, who has sent us some funny messages. He's just replying to our stories all the time. And he's like, breathe until tomorrow. Hey, can't worry about it. We got another game. So let's see what Leonardo's got here. Quick little 18 seconds from him.
It's all right, boys. This was just a hangover game. They're going to fucking come back tomorrow and take care of business. Put some fucking runs on the board. Fuck. Let's go fucking Mets. Let's go. Come on, we got this.
Was Leonardo hanging out at the bar with us? It sounds like he might have been a little bit
It
there.
might have been, honestly. He truthfully does sound like someone who was hanging with us. But, all right, got next one here from our guy, Nick. 29 seconds.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Huge fan of the podcast. Yeah, so that was a tough one, huh? Losing there with Mayton blowing it. The main thing I see here is we lost all that momentum we had from game one. The Brewers fans I saw were really engaged, and it's going to be tough to bounce back tomorrow, but I think this team is super resilient. We've done it all year. When it matters and we got to win, we win. And I think we can do it. Let's go Mets, baby.
Let's go Mets, baby. He's right. I do think, though, he's right about the momentum being lost.
Yeah.
If the Mets would have won this game on Wednesday, we were a fucking rocket ship.
Those fucking
we were in this shit.
those
Now
fucking
it's
dumb Midwestern Hicks were dead.
yeah. God, we had them killed.
Fucking eating their cheese curds and drinking their Miller Lite. Oh, God,
All right,
they were so dead.
I got another one here from Brendan. It's a long one.
Where's
Buckle
Frankie
up.
Peppers at?
We got it. I'm saving Frankie because we shout out Frankie if you're listening to this. We had our buddy Brian came up to us in the bar today. He was like, where the heck was Frankie yesterday? And we were like, I don't know. I looked up and he wasn't there either. So no worries.
Dude,
But here,
Frankie's quickly becoming some of our most liked comments too on the YouTube channel.
I
People
know,
like comment like
easily.
about Frankie gets like 20 likes. It's hilarious.
All right, we got Brendan right here. I was like, shout out my guy Sups at the game tonight to watch that catastrophe in person. He sends in his group chat with people who don't listen to this podcast. The boys are eating bolognese. No one understands that. My friend sends them to me. But Brendan, right here.
Mark and James, if this does make it, just wanted to say appreciate it. Been listening since day one.
Dog.
This game was obviously a wreck, but I don't think as big of a wreck as it's being like made out to be because, I mean, I personally would have went with Maton in the 8th as well. Maybe Diaz, I'm not sure, but the offense just left so many guys on base tonight, and that's just really unfortunate. But my question for you is, do you think that if this was the turning point for the Brewers and that they can hopefully not, I mean, take game 3 from us tomorrow, do you think that this season will end up being like a failure for so many people because of like just how we lost this game and what could happen tomorrow? Because even what happened on Monday with the doubleheader, I personally feel like the season was a success, whatever happens either way. Let's go Mets. Let's go Frankie Peppers.
There it is.
I'll say this, Brandon, thank you so much for the voicemail. I will not answer your question.
I will not answer it either. I'm
I
so
will-
glad you said that. I was like,
I won't give it a moment of thought. I'm going to move on right now. Quickly move on. We have so many of these.
Let's go. I'm gonna give you Sam. All
right, give us
Sam Johnson.
Hey, Mark and James, big fan of the podcast. Been listening all year for the last few years. That loss was horrific, man. I don't know. The bullpen looks shaky. I'm really nervous. The offense needs to score when runners are in scoring position. And I don't know if I'm reading into it too much, but I thought the defensive replacements came in way too early. But they didn't even get a chance to hit, so I don't know. But looking for a big win tomorrow. Go Mets.
I will say the one thing I am noticing, and thank God, and maybe this is because of who we are as podcasters and how we are as Mets fans, no one is gloom and doom, and I love to hear that.
Yeah, that is nice. It's nice to have the people that are listening to this. Thank you guys for all the positivity. That's just it's everyone's very level-headed takes, and we've been meeting a lot of listeners at the bar the last couple of days. It's almost sometimes shocking how many people listen to this podcast.
It's super shocking because, like, full transparency, like we see the numbers. I just get like way more on my YouTube channel, so it's just always surprising when like the amount of people that listen to the podcast come up to us. I think it's just because it's so concentrated in one area of like where we live, where we hang out, what we do all the time. It's always shocking to be like, wow, there was 15 people in the bar that said love the podcast tonight. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. People like going out to like Brandon people I've never seen be like, hey James. I'm like, who said that?
Like, I don't know who you are, but thank you. Like,
and people always laugh at it like they're like, hey, I love the podcast. Hey, and they say I'm whatever my name is. I'm like, I'm James. Like, I know. I'm like, I don't know. What should I do? Now I have to introduce myself. I've never met you.
Max Scherzer introduced himself to us, so
it's true. It's a good point. Max Scherzer did. I'm gonna give Joel some credit right here. He gave us over 2.5 minutes of voice message. So we're gonna start it and see where it goes.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
What a devastating loss today was. Oh my God. I mean,
it's going to be
there's
electric.
3 reasons why I can say the Mets lost. I mean, number one, after the second inning, they just refused to hit with men in scoring position.
Facts.
And allowed the Brewers to stay in the game. Mendoza probably not using Diaz in the 8th inning really cost them. I understand Diaz.
I'm going to move on to part 2 because I feel like that was going to say everything we've already said this podcast. I'm not going to put you guys through
that. That's an
Joel,
executive decision.
You for that. Yeah, and I'm going to give you another shot right here.
And obviously, I guess, I don't know if Diaz was even available today.
I'm going to move on to part 3. But
at the end of the day, I really think it comes down to the offense because I feel like if they scored the runs that they were supposed to score, you probably don't even have to worry about any of the things that went on today. And I think that, as I said, Manaea going deeper in the game, I feel like if the Mets obviously scored another 2 or 3 runs.
Joel, Joel,
You're just gonna just kill him.
I want to shout you out because you read our minds. You did everything we really did. Next time, keep it to a minute. I'll play your whole thing. But the fact you gave us almost 3 minutes of voice message, we can't do all of it.
Wait, do I try Tejas Raikar as well, who gave us 3 minutes of voice messages?
Start them up. See what he's got.
All right, Tejas, let's see what you got. He sent us, the last thing he sent us was sent one a few days ago. We didn't ask for one. Love the pod, want to send a voice. So I said, go, let's do it. So let's see what Tejas has got. Also, if that's your real name, that's fucking sick. All right.
Hey guys, huge fan of the pod.
There's too much wind. I can't hear it. There's too much wind. I'm so sorry. Tejas, were you driving? What was going on?
We love you, dude. Just
I love you, Tejas, but not with the window down. Or hold on, let's hear the next part. Should we hear part 2 and part 3 at least? Yeah,
I'm ready for part 2.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh,
I forgot that. Those are 60-second voice clips. I can resend it again, but yeah. I mean, there's game 3. I still think they can win because I don't think the Brewers stole many bases this game either.
None.
They really had. It was really just the 3 home runs for the most part.
Dex Cherio.
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
all right. I think I get the gist. He did give us a deep sigh, but he brings up a good point. The Mets have done a really good job limiting the base runners or limiting the stolen bases. Yes.
Jackson Chourio is the second youngest player in the history of the Major League Baseball postseason at 2 home runs in a game.
He's really
who's the youngest, Mark?
Who is it? I don't know.
Andrew Jones.
Whoa.
World Series.
Andrew Jones.
Yeah.
Should be in the Hall of Fame. Fuck the Braves, are out.
All right, next one from Justin. Probably only do a few more of these because we're getting up on 40 minutes and I am so tired.
Yeah.
I think if Mets want to win tomorrow, they got to get their early lead, stay up with the lead. Quintana needs to be on his A game, pitch at least 5 innings, 1 to 2 runs. We need to have at least 5 by the 5th if we really want to have this game in the bag. And hopefully the bullpen decisions are a lot better tomorrow because Stanek should have stayed in and we could have won this game, but hopefully it's better tomorrow.
All right.
I mean hopefully it's better tomorrow. This is a good way to transition and start talking about tomorrow because
yes,
we got Jose Quintana on the mound to do or die game. That's the dream of the Mets Stuff podcast, mine specifically.
Travis Scott fans, play Quintana Part 2, whatever it is, you got to manifest. We gave Jose Quintana a legacy start last time. Truthfully, this is the Jose Quintana legacy start. Prove me and James wrong. Go back to the 2022 offseason after we got knocked out of the playoffs. Who's the one player, James, you said you didn't want to sign?
Jose Quintana, but only because it was a 2-year deal.
Prove him wrong. For one. Prove him wrong. Pitch well, earn another contract.
And Quintana made some big adjustments. Yeah, that's what's going on.
I clicked something else.
Last start against the Brewers, Quintana kind of swung his repertoire back and went curveball heavy again for the first time in about a month and a half. Even though the whole month of September he was really good without it, but I think he realized he needed it. And then his changeup was also on point. So it's a pretty righty heavy team. All 3 of their best hitters are all right-handed hitters. Their most annoying hitters, the left-handed hitter. So you got to keep aware of that. But that changeup is going to be important. That curveball is going to be important. I'm excited to see what he has. I'm a little frustrated the fact that. What are you doing?
I'm hitting. I got off of Twitter and opened Instagram, and it started playing my tier list video.
Unbelievable. But I mean, this is it. This back against the wall is Quintana, and then also I'm a little frustrated that Peterson's available, and he's probably going to be the first guy that comes in the game, especially when Quintana gets in trouble. I love when you have a piggyback and it's not the same handedness guy, so you can fuck up the platoons a little bit. Because the Brewers now know even the next guy that's coming in the game is kind of the same mindset they were going to have against Jose Quintana. So that part's a little frustrating for me. Peterson's going to have more sliders, more fastballs, less. I don't even less changeups. Actually, basically almost kind of exactly the same sliders and curveballs.
Bro's forgetting about Huascar Brazoban.
Yeah, we're all forgetting about Huascar Brazoban. But I think Wheel's probably available. If Kranick pitches, I think something's gone horribly wrong.
Or
shout
horribly
out Max
right.
Kranick. Yeah, or horribly right. That's a good point. But shout out Max Kranick. I mean, it'd be nice for him to get in the mound if things go horribly right. All right, now before we send you guys out with Frankie Peppers, going to get to a couple more voice messages. Again, sorry if we didn't get to you guys' voice messages. We got 70 tonight.
So many.
In a half hour after we made them available after the game. So we're going to do more voice message stuff whenever, more postseason rounds as the months go on. Hopefully all these things, whatever. But a couple more voice messages, and we're going to send you guys out. So here's the first one from Rich. Hold on. Where is it? I lost it.
You lost Rich?
I lost it. I don't know where it is.
You just found it. You just played it.
All right, hear this.
Is come back, and all this team does is show up when their backs are against the wall. We did it in Atlanta. We did it game 1. We did it to an extent at the beginning of game 2. And with Quintana going tomorrow, this team knowing it's do or die, I can't help but think we're going to get it done. And I really hope I don't have to eat those words. So let's go Mets. Let's win this shit.
Shout out Rich. I hope Rich has a good dinner plan. And then we're gonna send it out with Lovo. Lovo. Here we go.
Frankie Louvu.
What's up, Mets boys? Just want to say I love the podcast, and I'm gonna start by saying, I'm a younger Mets fan. I was born in 2007, so I've only seen the Mets make the playoffs.
2007?
2016, 22, and 24, and it's just been pain, man. You got 2 wild card exits. Hopefully we don't have a third one in the World Series appearance, but they just blew every game. But besides that, today's game, I think Maton should have been pulled. It was obvious that he just didn't have it. And you just can't have that happen in a playoff game where you can advance to the next round. And, man, Jackson Chourio, that guy has killed us. And I think just too many runners were just left on base in a game where you can advance to the NLDS. It's just so tough, but that's what I got to say. And I just want to see these Mets make it to the NLDS so I can just go to one of these games at Citi Field because I literally live right next to it. But that's all I got to say. I love the pod, and hopefully I'm featured.
Frankie Louvu.
Lovo, you and Jackson Chourio got to enjoy juice boxes together after this game. I can't say 2007. Makes me want to die.
17. I thought that guy was 29. I mean, there was no. What a deep voice you've got. Lucky man. Must be tall.
He wasn't alive when
Carlos Beltran
struck out.
He was barely alive for when we fucking blew it. I mean, this is great. Listen, appreciate you, Lovo, for chiming in. Glad that you're excited. I think the Mets will come through. I think we're both very positive right now. If you're a YouTube viewer, if you're not, go to YouTube, go watch us. You got to see me and James's face when he said he was born in 2007. Blew my mind.
All right, guys. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. We got to send this out on a good note. We're closing the show with Frankie Peppers before a huge Game 3 on Thursday night. So here you guys go.
Gentlemen, it's Frankie Peppers. How you doing? I heard that you were doing a voicemail episode, and I figured, I would call in. I know I typically do the end of series, but just in case you wanted a message from me today.
Always.
I am disappointed. I'm upset. Not too happy with how that whole thing went. But you know what? This whole season, this Mets team has been down. They've been counted out. They've gotten knocked down, and then they've gotten back up again. And like the good folks at Chumbawamba say, they're never going to keep these Mets down. I fully trust this Mets team to get out there and win a baseball game tomorrow, to right the wrongs of today not being able to pull through. I think they're going to go out there on a mission tomorrow, and we are going to the NLDS. Appreciate you, boys. Let's go, Mets. Let's win this thing.
I mean, a Chumbawamba lyric quoting of Chumbawamba tub thumping, which is one of the songs of all time. Frankie Peppers, you amaze me every time you hop on the mic.
I think that's why we wanted to end the show with Frankie, because knew Frankie would have a fresh take, some positivity to close out here, because it was a bad night. Oh my God.
Yeah, what are you playing now, guy?
That was my Instagram open, all right? Shut your fucking mouth. I think we're so close doing it, but we still have another chance to do it, so we have to do it. We will do it. I'm confident we're going to do it. Jose Quintana supremacy, Jose Quintana. Let's just fucking do this thing.
Need to win. Must win. Let's fucking go Mets.
Literally, can't lose.
Quite literally, physically can't. I mean, they can, but it's over then. It's all over.
Must win.
What is this all for if I can't go scuba diving?
I don't know. What's it for?
What is it all for? Mets
then we just came for the zip line.
Then we just came for the zip line. Let's fucking go Mets. Winning Game 3. Taking over that shit city in Milwaukee. Any final remark there, James, before I give the spiel?
No, I'm ready to go. Locked in. Can't wait for this game.
Win, lose, or draw, you're getting another episode from us tomorrow night. Make sure you guys are following us on all our social media at MetsUp on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Subscribe to the MetsUp Podcast YouTube channel if you want to see the video version of this. If you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Overcast, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. You can follow James on Twitter at
James_Shiano.
I'm Giraffe Neck Mark with the C. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And hopefully we are successful tomorrow. Let's fucking go Mets. Beat those fucking Brewers.
Let's fuck go Mets. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Fuck Rhys Hoskins.
Fuck Rhys Hoskins.